If you don't know these 11 truths, wealth will always avoid you. Wealth is never an accident. It's the child of deliberate thought, backed by definite purpose. If you don't know the truths that govern it, you'll chase it forever and never taste its fruit. Riches are first built in the mind, brick by brick, with belief, persistence, and clarity. Fear, doubt, and ignorance are the thieves that rob more fortunes than failure ever could. Know these truths, apply them daily, and wealth will not only find you, it will follow you. 1. Wealth begins in the mind before it ever shows in the bank. 2. Your thoughts are seeds. Plant poverty or prosperity. 3. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all riches. 4. Fear is the enemy of fortune. Conquer it or stay broke. 5. Faith turns invisible desires into visible results. 6. Procrastination kills more dreams than failure ever will. 7. You become what you habitually believe about yourself. 8. Success demands persistence when nothing seems to work. 9. Environment shapes destiny. Choose your circle wisely. 10. Service to others is the highway to lasting wealth. 11. Riches follow clarity, not confusion. Know exactly what you want. 1. Wealth begins in the mind before it ever shows in the bank, because every fortune the world has ever seen was first born as a thought in someone's imagination. You see, nothing tangible is created without first existing in the invisible realm of belief and desire. If your mind is filled with limitation, doubt, or the constant echo of "I can't," then that's exactly what your reality will reflect: lack and struggle. But when you train your thoughts to dwell on possibility, abundance, and opportunity, the world begins to bend in your favor. It's not magic, it's alignment. The subconscious mind responds to repeated thoughts and builds patterns from them. And so, if you repeatedly think about lack, your life will mirror scarcity. But if you deliberately focus on wealth, if you see yourself as a person of value, of purpose, and of growing riches, then your decisions, energy, and even your habits begin to support that vision. That's why the truly wealthy think differently. They know money is just the outcome, not the starting point. Shift your thinking and you shift your life. The mind is the soil. Plant the seed of wealth there, nurture it daily, and soon the harvest will come. 2. Your thoughts are seeds. Plant poverty or prosperity, and whichever you choose, your life will reflect it in full bloom. Every single day, whether you're aware of it or not, you're sowing ideas into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, and those ideas do not sit idle. They grow. If you constantly think about your limitations, complain about what you don't have, and focus on what's missing, then you're watering weeds of lack that will choke out any chance of wealth. But if you consciously direct your focus toward abundance, gratitude, possibility, and self-belief, you begin to cultivate a mental garden where prosperity can take root. That's not just motivational fluff, it's how the mind works. The dominant thoughts you carry shape your decisions, your confidence, your energy, and ultimately your results. People don't get rich by accident. They've simply been planting different seeds, and if your life hasn't produced what you want, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because the seeds you've been planting were never meant to bear the fruit of wealth. Change the seeds and the harvest must follow. You can't plant thorns and expect roses. Start planting thoughts of prosperity today, and your future will bloom with abundance. 3. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all riches, because without a clear, burning desire for something specific, your energy gets scattered and your efforts become powerless. Wealth doesn't flow to the confused or the half-hearted. It finds its way to those who know exactly what they want and why they want it. When your mind is fixed on a definite aim, everything else starts to align. Your thoughts sharpen, your confidence rises, and your actions become intentional. You stop dabbling and start deciding. You stop chasing everything and start attracting the one thing that matters. Most people never build wealth because they never define what wealth means to them. They drift through life reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. But those who build fortunes don't guess their way forward. They declare their intention, they lock their eyes on the target, and they move with unwavering focus. A definite purpose is like a compass in a storm. It keeps you moving forward even when things get rough. Without it, you'll chase distractions, fall for shortcuts, and give up when success takes time. But with it, you'll wake up every day with direction, with fire, and with the quiet power that wealth always answers to. 4. Fear is the enemy of fortune. Conquer it or stay broke, because as long as fear controls your choices, wealth will stay just out of reach. Fear makes you hesitate when you should act, whisper doubts when you should speak up, and keep playing small when you're meant to rise. It disguises itself as caution, logic, or timing, but make no mistake, fear is the silent killer of dreams and the invisible wall between you and success. The people who build wealth aren't fearless. They just refuse to let fear make their decisions. They feel it, face it, and move anyway. Meanwhile, those who let fear win are constantly waiting for the right moment, or perfect conditions, that never come. They are scared of failing, scared of looking foolish, scared of losing what little they have. So they never risk, never stretch, never grow. But nothing great comes without boldness. Fortune favors the bold because boldness signals belief. And belief is magnetic. It draws people, resources, and opportunities into your life. So you must stop bowing to fear like it's protecting you. It's not. It's blocking you. Break free. Take the step. Bet on yourself. When you conquer fear, you don't just earn money. You earn power, freedom, and self-respect. 5. Faith turns invisible desires into visible results because what you believe deep down becomes the blueprint your mind uses to build your reality. You can't touch faith, but you can see its fingerprints on every success story. It's the inner knowing that says, even if I don't see it yet, I trust it's on the way. Without faith, your dreams remain just that, dreams. But with faith, you breathe life into them, you act with confidence, speak with conviction, and persist through obstacles because you've already claimed the outcome in your mind. Wealth is never attracted to doubt, it's drawn to certainty. And faith creates that certainty long before the evidence shows up. It keeps you steady when the world says give up. It pushes you forward when logic says stop. It builds bridges over fear, risk, and delay. People who win big don't always have the best strategies, but they do have unshakable belief. They decide that what they want is already theirs. They just need to walk the path, and in doing so, they attract the people, opportunities, and ideas they need. Faith doesn't wait for proof. It moves like the proof already exists. And because of that, proof eventually shows up. 6. Procrastination kills more dreams than failure ever will, because while failure at least means you tried, procrastination leaves you stuck in a cycle of waiting, wishing, and wondering. It's the silent thief of time, robbing you moment by moment, convincing you that tomorrow is always the better day to begin. But tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes next year, until one day you look back and realize your potential was buried under excuses. Wealth doesn't come to those who delay, it comes to those who act. Every successful person you admire started before they felt ready. They moved with imperfect plans, learned on the way, and figured it out through motion, not hesitation. Procrastination disguises itself as perfectionism, as caution, even as planning, but it's really just fear wearing a clever mask. The clock is always ticking, and every delay is a door closing. If you truly desire success, you must become a person of immediate action. Not reckless action, but bold, deliberate steps, even small ones, taken daily. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds results. Don't wait for the stars to align. Start where you are with what you have, and let progress reveal the rest. Delay nothing. Your future depends on your now. 7. You become what you habitually believe about yourself because your self-image sets the boundaries for your success, your behavior, and ultimately your results. If deep down you see yourself as someone who always struggles, always lacks, or never gets ahead, then that belief becomes a silent command to your subconscious mind, shaping your actions to match. No matter how hard you try on the outside, you'll keep sabotaging your own progress to stay aligned with that inner identity. But the opposite is also true. If you believe you're worthy of abundance, capable of success, and deserving of wealth, your entire mindset shifts. You start showing up differently, speaking with more confidence, and making decisions that match your new identity. The world responds not to what you say you want, but to who you truly believe you are. That's why affirmations, visualization, and intentional self-talk matter. They're not just hype. They're tools for reprogramming the belief system that runs your life. You cannot outperform your identity, so if you want to change your reality, you must first upgrade the image you hold of yourself. Wealth flows to those who expect it, claim it, and carry themselves like it already belongs to them. Be that person now. 8. Success demands persistence when nothing seems to work, because the road to wealth is filled with delays, setbacks, and moments that test your will more than your skill. Anyone can stay motivated when things are easy, but the true winners are those who keep going when the results are invisible and the rewards feel distant. Most people give up not because they lack talent, but because they lack staying power. They start strong, hit a few bumps, and decide maybe it's not meant for them. But success doesn't respond to bursts of effort. It responds to consistency. Persistence is the quiet force that turns average people into legends. It's the decision to try again when the world says stop. It's the courage to believe in your dream even after failure knocks you down. Every wealthy person has stories of rejection, loss, and frustration, but what they didn't do was quit. They stayed in motion, adjusted, learned, and pressed forward. And eventually, life had no choice but to yield to their determination. The truth is, you won't always feel inspired, and things won't always go your way. But if you keep showing up, keep improving, and keep believing, success will have no choice but to meet you. 9. Environment shapes destiny. Choose your circle wisely, because the people you spend the most time with influence your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your results more than you realize. If you surround yourself with complainers, doubters, and excuse makers, their mindset will slowly become your own, even if you started off with high ambition. But when you're in the company of driven, focused, and success-minded individuals, their energy lifts you, their conversations spark new ideas, and their standards challenge you to grow. You begin to adopt their habits, absorb their beliefs, and aim higher just by being around them. Wealthy people don't just work hard. They align themselves with other wealth-minded individuals who reinforce their vision and hold them accountable. If you want to change your life, start by changing who you allow into your mental and emotional space. Cut off the noise that pulls you backwards and seek out voices that push you forward. Read what successful people read, listen to what they listen to, and model the environments they create. Your circle should inspire growth, not breed stagnation. Don't underestimate the power of influence. What surrounds you shapes you. Choose people who reflect your future, not your past, and watch how fast your life transforms. 10. Service to others is the highway to lasting wealth because real success isn't just about making money, it's about creating value that solves problems, meets needs, and improves lives. The most powerful fortunes in the world were built by people who understood one simple truth. The more people you help, the more money you make. When you shift your focus from how can I get to how can I give something that matters, you unlock the real engine of prosperity. Money is a reward, not a goal that flows as a result of service. If your product, your skills, or your knowledge genuinely make life better for others, wealth becomes a natural byproduct. The mistake most people make is chasing dollars instead of people. But the wealthy don't just chase income, they chase impact, and income follows. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, or a creative, the question is the same: how are you improving someone's life today? When you find the answer to that and commit to delivering it with excellence, consistency, and integrity, you won't have to beg for success. It will seek you out. Lasting wealth doesn't come from taking more, but from giving more in ways that truly matter. Serve well and wealth will follow. 11. Riches follow clarity, not confusion. Know exactly what you want, because the universe, much like the mind, responds best to direction, not doubt. Most people drift through life with vague wishes, saying they want more money or a better life. But they never define what that truly means, so they end up chasing shadows. Clarity is power. When you know precisely what you want, how much, by when, and for what purpose, you give your mind something solid to focus on. Your decisions become sharper, your actions more deliberate, and opportunities begin to stand out instead of passing you by. Confusion breeds hesitation, and hesitation delays results. Wealthy individuals don't move through life hoping, they move with intention. They set goals with detail, they visualize the outcome, and they back it with unwavering belief. The clearer your vision, the easier it is to filter distractions, eliminate noise, and stay on track when things get tough. If your goal is foggy, your path will be full of detours. But if your vision is clear, your steps will start to align almost automatically. You can't hit a target you can't see. Decide what you want in vivid detail, claim it, pursue it relentlessly, and watch how wealth finds its way to you.